Let's get the Instagram going. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully the Instagram's moving. Let's see. Let's drop off my Wi-Fi. Let's do that. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Making Comics Live. I am DJ Kaufman, the director of comics here at VeeFriends. I'm going to be drawing some comic strips today, or at least one comic strip featuring Fearless Fairy here. Going to get into that. Let's just do a real quick, if you're new to VeeFriends, what's VeeFriends is over 250 characters, actually 280 something characters, created by Gary V. Gary Vaynerchuk, you might know him on the internet as Gary V. If you do not, check him out. Daily V is back. VeeFriends cartoons for kids under... Turn this music down just a notch. There we go. VeeFriends cartoons, YouTube Kids TV. YouTube Kids, is that what's up? Let's see. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Today in Space. VeeFriends also has the trading card game. Of course, our Topps Chrome is taking over all the live commerce streams out there. Exciting to see all those sets. It's very distracting, actually. I can't stop watching people pulling their cards. I just can't. I just got to stop. It's very addicting. And of course, we've got the comic books. This is the comic book team here. We just released this, our sold out issue number 2. Came in a blind bag. These comics come out monthly, so check for the next drop on the 15th on the drawing board on Whatnot. Corso and I are going to do the first reading. We're part of the Whatnot exclusive Whatnot Con 2025 Artist Alley Whatnot Con. It's like a special thing, and I noticed we got a nice new logo for drawing board. Shout out to the Eric and the graphics team, brand team. That's a sharp looking logo there. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, and by the way, this Saturday I will be going to Grove City for the trade day. We're going to drive on out. My wife and I are going to drive on out. It's at Card Collector 2 Sports Cards in Grove City. And the first 99 people in line to meet Gary will get a signed copy of this newsletter. I mean, not newsletter. Oh my goodness. Not enough coffee. This poster, 11 by 17 poster that I drew. We'll take a look at that in a minute. First 99 to get that signed. And this weekend, if you're the first to find this little humble hedgehog, there's some instructions of what to do underneath this pencil. But the first person to find that will win something special. So you need to be paying attention. Appreciate you. Not sure if you remember me. I replied to a tweet you put out about carrying a card with me till we meet. I'm trying to see what card I should carry now. Are you going to be at Grove City? And then just find me. I don't know. Okay, let's open up. This was Jonathan 20619 over on Instagram. We're live on Instagram, TikTok. By the way, shoot, I forgot to open up my TikTok stream. Let's do that real quick. Got to see the chat over there on TikTok. I'm sure it's D. Coleman and let's see. Chub Beanie, good morning. Paul, good morning over on TikTok. We are live on TikTok, Instagram. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, X, and somewhere else, right? No, I don't know. That's it. Follow us on at VeeFriends Comics. The comics are out. We're doing a lot of comics, story. We're going to be talking about story here this morning a little bit. I'm going to show you some stuff as I'm working on what usually is the Sunday comics for the newspaper. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm working on a Sunday size, but it's going to be a story, a little story that's happening in these panels, which is kind of cool, featuring Fearless Fairy here. And if you're new to VeeFriends, please email us at comics@VeeFriends.com. Okay, let's see who's in the first mini. Oh, hey, we've got a detailed parrot, passionate parrot. When's the next comic drop? Chris asks. We're shooting for June 5th, but I'm just going to say early June, just because we're still in kind of a learning phase, let's call it, for publishing these comics ourselves. So hopefully June 5th, but early June, issue 3 will drop. And for those that, let's see, a little sneak peek at one of the covers for, a sneak peek at one of the covers for the next issue. Hooray. Not the final cover, but that's the main art for the cover, but that's pretty cool. By the way, thanks for everybody for picking this up. And it sold out very fast. Very appreciative of that. And it's pretty amazing that people haven't... We're going to do a reading of this again, like I said, on the next Thursday, on the 15th. Corso and I on the drawing board. What you're going to want to do is go to the Whatnot, VeeFriends.com/whatnot. You'll get to all of our shows. You can see some shows here this weekend happening. Monday, Tyler is out there. All kinds of cool streams happening on Whatnot. Live commerce. You can collect different things, but also drawing board is just us hanging out drawing. There I am in Corso, and we are doing the first. Oh, you might see that first art print drop. Art print drop on that day. Very rare art print. Do you want to see what it looks like? I'll show you. I'll show you what it looks like. Are you ready? It's Bad Intentions on the Throne. First art drop. Art print drop. It'll have a little sticker on it that says, but very high quality, thick print there. Reasonably priced for the Whatnot Artist Alley. The Whatnot Con. Excited to, we got a lot of attention with the comic book, but I should stop talking about this. I gotta get drawing. Cubby Blue, what's going on? Is my feed working over on Instagram? Can you see me moving around, or am I frozen? I don't know. For me, it's like frozen over there, but I can see the comments. Instagram. Can you see me moving around? Yeah. Cubby Blue, thank you. All right, thumbs up. Great. And then, of course, TikTok's going. Great. Thank you for joining me this morning. The carrot isn't in between his legs anymore. I know. I had to switch it. I switched it up. It was like this big carrot between his legs. I'm like, oh, that's a bad placement for that carrot. Can take a look at that in a minute, maybe. Reading your comments across all of the channels. But let's talk about this real quick. This will be the first time I take the Sunday comic and kind of use it to promote the comic books. By May 15th, the Fearless Fairy book will be out for free. The story will be out for free on the internet. On the website. So if you go to VeeFriends.com and you just click the cover here, you'll be able to read the comic books live for free. You can actually read issue 1 right now or after this stream. You can read this right now. You're not going to be able to get one of these. These are selling for a lot. These were only 555 copies. But this comic will go live on the 15th. And also stay up to date on our comic books. Get on this list. We might do some interesting things with this list just for the list members. So please get in there if you're digging the comics and wanting to know the stories. Anyways, I'm using this Sunday comic that's after Mother's Day Sunday to promote the comic book. And it's a little story about, here's this young lady. She's at work. She's feeling so depressed. All I do is work. I have nothing to show for my life. And there's like these roots growing behind the computer here. And they start to kind of take over the panel, like they're taking over her life. It's kind of a metaphor for like depression or anxiety or whatever. She's like, oh my gosh, what is this? Something is growing here. And then you see that she touches it. She goes into the front and she's like, wait, what? Where am I? Like she's going to like poof out here with magic kind of thing. And now she's in the Frowning Forest, which is a location inside of V World, by the way. If you didn't know, you will know. I couldn't get the first one, but I scored 2 copies of number 2. That's great. You probably won't get the first one. That was 555 copies. Anyways, I just want to get through this. Sorry. She's in the Frowning Forest. She's going to be looking around like, where am I? This is dark. Her foot starts to get tangled in the roots, and they start to tally up around her. And now she's going to be like, help me. Like she's crying out for help. Fearless Fairy arrives, saves her. She's like, oh my God, you saved me. She's like, no. She wants to say, like, the message here is that at least she yelled for help, because a lot of people don't yell for help when they're feeling overwhelmed or whatever. So, or they're in darkness somehow. So she's like, hey, you got to get out of here, because if you don't get out of here soon, if you stay too long in that position, then you become one of those trees rooted in the ground in the Frowning Forest. So you got to escape before you become trapped in your depression or your darkness or whatever it is you're feeling, down, mopey. You can't stay in that thought pattern. You got to find some positivity and break through that fear. So that's what this comic is going to be about. That's what I'm working on. I'm going to jump around here. Are you the artist behind VeeFriends? I am one of the artists behind VeeFriends. I am DJ Kaufman, the director of comics here at VeeFriends, doing the comic books and all the character development behind the scenes. So the stories with Gary and the team. Of course, Gary's the creator of VeeFriends. Gary Vaynerchuk. You might want, if you're new to VeeFriends, please email me at comics@VeeFriends.com. But this is the creator. You've seen him around. Gary V, hence the name V and VeeFriends. And of course, our Topps Chrome are everywhere right now. Really hard to find. And going just nuts. It's bananas. It is bananas. But we slow things down here on this stream a little bit to draw some comics. And yeah. Yeah, the first one's selling. I was going to say, somebody else asked me the other day, a couple days ago, they're like, does it make you feel weird that the comics are selling for, so much money after you sold them? Like, and I'm like, what? No, it doesn't make me feel weird at all. Like, I'm excited about that, because really, I would really like people to read the stories, of course. However, if there's someone out there that needed the money and they're doing a flip, we're all for that. That's great. And it makes me feel good as an artist to darken up these pencils here, as you can see. It makes me feel good. I'll adjust this a little more down shot there for you. It makes me feel good as an artist that something I made can kind of help people, whether it's entertainment or helping them make some money to pay their bills, because people are struggling, out there. Let's start with this panel, and I'm just gonna get back on my pencil layer here. So we need this Girl looking shocked. I usually just talk through while I'm drawing and stream of consciousness comes. But yeah, those are questions I've had this past week where like, oh, how do you feel about the VeeFriends blowing up and all this stuff? And I'm like, I don't mean to sound dismissive of any of it, but I don't really care about that part, except that our mission is to grow this into one of the world's biggest IPs. And that sounds like heavy business. You know, the next, I hate to say the next. I don't like saying that, but it's just, you know, Gary wants to make a Pokemon-like universe, something that big. And we're just at the very beginning right now. That's the truth. And that's why I'm really glad people are digging this. The comic books and such and the cards. But we got a lot of work to do. So we can't just sit around and go, congratulations, we did it. Let's, hooray. Like, we got to keep building. So I kind of want her to look a little shocked. Like, what is that? She's going to be touching the root. You see, like, she's, like she shouldn't touch it, because the minute she touches this root, she goes to the other, the frowning forest. And yeah, I guess one of my thoughts is, you know, we're out here getting attention with the comics and stuff. The stories will really, like, we're already seeing it. The pictures of, like, parents with their kid, like, having a picture of their, like, 8-year-old reading the comic and stuff like that is really cool. And I remember when I was 8 years old. And the comic for me was this one. It's always behind me here. I don't know if you can see it. You can't really see it. Why is it so dark behind me? That's... What the heck? Let's set this up. I gotta turn on my flag. There we go. Got my G.I. Joe number 21. G.I. Joe number 21 was it for me. You know? I keep this always nearby. This was the silent issue. This was the issue that I learned that comics were visual storytelling, and you didn't need words to tell stories, and it's a really cool issue. And that was it for me. That got me. I was like, I'm gonna do that when I grow up. You know. Tilt this hand a little bit. And so, you know, that does kind of give me chills to see, like, a kid, a parent. By the way, shout out to those parents that are supporting their kids in that way, whether it's through trading cards or comic books or reading, you know, watching TV together, even, you know, watching a show, watching cartoons together. That's important, man, to have that time with your kids. Because, man, listen, I raised 3 boys and they're all grown men now, and it goes real fast. It goes way too fast. And you better create good memories, you know, while you can. So, for a while, we were not stuck, but, like, kind of in that, we're like Sesame Street kind of brand sort of thing. But we're, like Gary says, we're more for, like, 3 to 93. So we've got elements of that. We've got the children's books. We've got whatever. And now it's time for the comic books. And now it's, you know, and soon it'll be time for the movies and the TV shows and stuff like that. You know, we got to get big. But I'm a comic artist by nature, so what I love about all this is that comics are such a powerful storytelling medium that we can tell a lot of story in just a few pages, or even just a page. Even just one of those pages from that book. My goal, my job, is to make sure that the page tells a story, and that I'm not just putting a lot of fluff in there, you know. I really want you to see and feel something inside when you read it, because you're like, wow, that was only a few pages, but I feel like I've had this epic adventure. That's the magic of comics. So, how long to the follow up of the first comic? For the first comic, yeah. So our stories will be, you'll see, they'll kind of blend together. It's gonna be, you have to be patient because it's a little, we're only monthly, but you'll see those characters again for sure. And there's some other things happening with comics that I can't really talk about because I don't want to talk about because they're not set in stone. But you know, we're working on getting comic series put out in like nationwide comic book stores. That's one of our bigger goals too. I don't think I'm comfortable saying it because Gary's already said it out loud. But so for instance, think about this: VeeFriends, the title, is our flagship title that we publish, and this is the first appearance of Fearless Fairy in the canon, the story. This is the first appearance of Bad Intentions. However, we could go to a publisher or publish it ourselves, but I think we're gonna probably hook up with a publisher of some kind, like just to, you know, because it might be Fearless Fairy #1, but her first appearance was this issue. But we might do a whole Fearless Fairy #1 series. So you got her origin story here. Same thing with this comic book would be the adventure that's set up here with Mikey and his dad and the VeeFriends, even the mom and the family, and Balance Beetle and the supercomputer and all that stuff. This would spin off into its own title called something. Probably The Battle for Balance Begins or VeeFriends Adventures or something like that. That's all to be determined, but it will happen. It's just a matter of figuring it out. Yeah. I want her to look more like that. I drew this one yesterday, so it doesn't look the same. So her eyes are kind of like how I would typically do it in a I'm gonna slant those eyes a little bit, like slope them a little bit like that. I still like the cartoony people. I don't want her to look sad. She does look shocked because there is a vine growing up and around her, so it's just the shape of the eyes needs to change a little bit. I don't need to be as nuts with the hair there. So this will probably be something I'm working on for a little while beyond this stream, but I got to get some lines in because I'm traveling on Monday, going out to Utah, hang out with the shout out to the space station crew out there, and Gary will be out there with us, and Tuesday. And never been to Utah, never been. I only have a couple extra hours out there, so I might go see just drive around, see some sights or something, I don't know. Or not, maybe I'll just stay in the hotel room and draw comics. I'm gonna change this mouth too. Just a little bit. We can in cartooning we call that noodling, where you're just redrawing something over and over again. But I kind of want the overall shape to be like, oh, what is that? We'll give her some lips. A don't really want her to have a... I'm just messing with this face a little bit. We'll leave it alone with that. We'll just leave that alone. Same thing, I could probably get in there and ink that. I'm not going to mess with that too much. I'll check your comments here. I'm going to be using lots of PTO when you guys have drops like that. That's great. Thanks for watching over there on Instagram, guys. Appreciate you. Did you always know you wanted to be a bamboo artist? I know that was spell check. Jay Thompson. Bamf. Yeah, like I said, I think when I didn't know what it meant, you know. In retrospect, it's probably glad that I didn't know what it meant. Because there's so many old, jaded comic book artists that are like, I would never tell a kid to get into this business. I mean, it is rough. It is rough. Page rates are, not here at VeeFriends, but I'm talking Marvel, DC, like, they haven't changed their page rates in, since the 1970s. Seriously. And it's a machine. You could be hot one minute, down the next. There's no way to build a real career. Probably only a handful of people get, lifelong careers in the comic book industry, So it's quite a grind. And if you know all that stuff, it sounds frightening and you just wouldn't want to do it. But yeah, I mean, I knew, as soon as I knew, I was like, wait, that's someone's job. And I like to tell stories when I was a kid, with, taking toys and making up little movies. And, really, it's really weird that when you become an adult, you look back and you're like, I wonder what the ingredients were to make me who I was. I came from I came from a dysfunctional family, kind of a family of divorce and stuff, but not that I had a bad childhood or anything like that, it just was what it was. I didn't have a lot of money, so kids in the 80s, we just go outside and play. Couldn't have a lot of toys and stuff. I did have toys. I did have a lot of G.I. Joes and stuff like that, but you used your imagination a lot more. And so I think that was a big part of it, having that imagination and I think it's in everybody, which is cool too. This is a tricky panel because she's got to be getting engulfed by the roots. So the first thing I want to do is probably draw the hand, looking kind of like a desperate hand. And I can, we can get, that's the cool thing about cartooning, is I can just exaggerate that. There's no perfect anatomy or anything like that, especially if I have a root coming around. My idea was that when you're stuck in the forest of sadness or whatever, you become you can get rooted in it and stuck there as one of these frowning trees in the frowning forest, and it's how I'm jumping all over the place here story wise, but one of the early phone calls I had with Gary about moving to comic book mode, story mode, big story, deeper stories, was he was like, DJ, I gotta do we gotta tackle big issues like suicide, and we gotta stop people, we gotta help people in that way. And he was so passionate about it. I'm like, heck yeah. He's like, do you think we could do that through comics? And I'm like, absolutely. I mean, of course you don't want to have showing people doing bad things, but you can do it through metaphor and storytelling. And and I think the Frowning Forest, while it was just a NFT background, it's really this, to me, when I saw it, I was like, it sparked that. It's like, that was Gary's toy, or that was the toy that was given to me. And then I'm like, that's the metaphor for depression and anxiety, and that weight. It can feel like that if you're in it. If you felt this, I don't know, some people have just joyous lives and they just live brilliant lives forever, but I don't think that's real. I think that a lot of people feel trapped sometimes, stuck, imposter syndrome, all that stuff that all humans feel. To me, the Frowning Forest was that. And to me also, the idea that there's this location, right? It's not always a sad place. Like, there's VeeFriends there. They know that that's where they got to hang out. Some of them have to hang out. You're going to see other ones hanging out in the Frowning Forest too in the future issue 4. And I want her to really be yelling here. This could be exaggerated. This is going to be in the newspapers too, so it's going to be really interesting that a lot of people that have no idea what VeeFriends is, they've been used to the other style that I've been doing for 9 weeks or 10 weeks or 11 weeks. And suddenly they're going to open this up and be like, what? Wait, what's this? So I'm hitting them with let's just go ahead and exaggerate. You know, she's getting. So the idea that her hands even could be like tree limbs, that's how, when you look at trees next time, you know, think about that. Like, that's another cool part of just ingrained storytelling that I've learned over the years, just talking to some like masters. Back in the day, it's like, the world is the world. Trees exist, llamas exist, all these animals exist, elephants exist. So it's a brilliant thing that's going on with VeeFriends in general is, you know, probably if you're in the VeeFriends community and you see a panda out there, what do you think of? You think patience, right? Because this is Patient Panda. And by the way, if you're new to VeeFriends and you're just chilling out listening to me yammer, email comics@veefriends.com, please. Would love to send you something. If you're an artist watching this and you would like my brushes or templates, we'll send them to you for free. I like to do that as well. But yeah, we've got all these different characters. I like to sit them up there. And that was one of the original concepts for VeeFriends, you know. I like to remind people, even if you're in the VeeFriends community, this was the original light bulb moment for Gary. He saw Spider-Mans and stuff like that sitting around people's desks. I mean, what else do I got on my desk? I got a bobblehead devil that was given to me by Nate Pecos a long time ago. Shout out to Nate Pecos from blambot.com, my fonts of choice. Very random. But he saw these trinkets sitting around on people's desks at work, and he thought, what if it was a trinket that was on their desk that would remind them to be patient? Or they're fighting with employees at work or something, and they're like, hey, you know what? It's time to be the bigger person. Right? And it's just triggers. It's like a trigger mechanism of empathy and practicality, common sense, cow, practical peacock. And that's just the surface level, because people go, oh, alliteration friends or whatever. There's a lot of cynical cats. But then you see these characters, like check out Peacock here. Practical Peacock. So I had to weave him into a story. I'm going to show you because I love this. I love this scene. I wrote it and I was like, oh man, this is so funny. I had so much fun. So they can't fight. They're trying to stop Cynical Cat here. And Flexing Fox is like, okay, here's the plan. You go make a distraction with your colorful strutting. Draw out his fire, and I'll zero in on that helmet. He's like, what? Why me? I don't want to get blasted. And he's like, listen, you're way more impressive looking, and you got better moves. He's like, oh, thanks. Okay, let's do it. So he like fluffed him up, you know? And so then he's like, hey, yo, look here, over here, Mikey. You know, or remember, Mike, nothing good comes easy. The practical thing to do would be to do what your dad wishes. He wouldn't want any of this trouble, right? So it's like practical thoughts. But then the bird's trying to like shoot it, or the cat's trying to shoot the peacock. Get blasted. And he's like, hold still, bird. And he's like, whoop, whoop, not today. Too slow. Zoop. Missed me again. So it's, I don't know. It's a very practical plan. So I like to do that. It's fun to say, like, how can I take that trait and then weave that into a cool thing. All right, let's make one leg out like that, and one leg down. She's trying to like pull her leg up, and it's like, nope, it's got her here. So yeah, anyways, that's me just ranting about this stuff. Brushes for the Sketch app he uses. Free brushes I use Procreate, so I've got some brushes here that are, I want to have her like reaching straight out like that. She's reaching out for any help. She's like crying. This is like a metaphor for like crying out for help, right? When all is lost. I'm gonna shut my door here. You know what? Let's spin around. Haven't done this in a while. Can you believe I pulled 3 clear ones? I can't believe how many clear ones I got. Let's do it again. All right. Orange and blue. Tell me in the chat, orange or blue in the chat, which one of these VeeFriends mini toppers should I open? This is VeeFriends vending. There's vending machines all over the... Like, it's funny that we've had these things out for a while. It's season 4. This is a season 3 and a season 4. So tell me blue or green in the chat for which one I should open, and I'm going to count it up here in a second. We got a blue. I'm live on Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube. We got blue, 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 blue. That's pretty amazing, because usually green wins. All right. Orange. Orange has joined the chat. We got blue. It's gonna be blue. All right, we'll set this one up here. Let's see who's in here. I play this little game where I'm trying to get detailed versions, right? There's bubblegum. There's like ones that are bubblegum that are the like kind of base. Oh no, dudes! I dropped that mini. Going for it. All right, there we go. Let's see who's in here. So I try to. The rule is if it's a detailed or like a diamond or a gold, it'll not automatically knock off the parrot. If it's a bubblegum or something like that, it's not going to do it. If it's a basic one, I don't know what I'm seeing in here. It is a bubblegum adaptable alien. Smells like bubblegum, by the way. It does not beat the passionate parrot. Keep forgetting to open these. Any buyers of Chrome? If you don't know, if you're new to VeeFriends, let's just reset this stream real quick. If you're new to VeeFriends, comics@veefriends.com, email me. Also, if you're an artist, we'll give you the brushes. Just ask for brushes. They're Procreate brushes, the brushes I use here. If you're new to VeeFriends, VeeFriends is over 280 characters on a mission to change the world, become the next big Pokemon type brand. It's like Pokemon with a purpose, created by Gary V. You might know him on the internet as Gary V, Gary Vaynerchuk. Hence the name V and VeeFriends. We got kids cartoons for under 10 on YouTube Kids, made by the same people that make like Coco Melon and stuff like that. We've got the trading card game, the original trading card game, VeeFriends. We've got these mini pencil topper vending machines everywhere. There's rarities, you see. Comic books, that's what you're watching now. We're on the comic book team. We've got limited comic books dropping, and now they're coming monthly. So next drop is early June. What else? I'll be live this Saturday. Gary's going to be at Grove City, Ohio. Card Collector Sports Cards. Card Collector 2 Sports Cards in Grove City. I think he's there 12 to 3. I'm just driving in. The first 99 people in line to meet Gary get a signed poster that I drew here. Get that. First to find the Humble Hedgehog also win something. He's hidden around somewhere. And then next Thursday on the drawing board, this is the Whatnot stream that we do, Corso and I. We're part of Whatnot Con. It's basically an online comic convention. This is an Artist Alley, Whatnot Artist Alley. And we're doing the first reading, the public reading of VeeFriends number 2, which is the origin story of Fearless Fairy, who I'm working on right now. So tune in for that. I haven't read it yet. I mean, I haven't read it out loud yet because I wanted people to get it. There's still people waiting to get their books. They're not going to get their books till like Monday. So I wanted to, have people have a chance to get it and enjoy it themselves. And that's VeeFriends in a nutshell. And also we've got the Sunday comic strips that look a little bit like this. This is this weekend's Take Mother's Day Back. Cynical Cat. Let's go by here. Cynical Cat. What moms really want. So tune in this weekend for the newspaper comic. Thank you, moms out there. Appreciate you. It's all one big comic strip. And if you're opening up Topps Chrome, I drew all the Y2K characters. So if you happen to get one of these Y2K characters, they're very rare. And man, they're selling for a lot too. Like, geez, it's nuts. But those are all the Y2K characters I did on this set. There's 10 Y2K. It's a tribute to the first Pokemon Y2K that Topps put out. The only time Topps worked with Pokemon, and a little bit more amplified versions of our characters. Oh no, the lion, he got us. God darn it. Gosh dang it. Read your comments real quick. I need a Y2K. I opened 2 hobby boxes. I shouldn't have done that. I got 2 to keep and 2 to open. Want to see something else cool? I'll show you something else. We can take just a minor little break here. I gotta move these guys off of this. So some of our double base cards that we get for the Chrome, like this, I'm testing out my... Let's flip this up and see if this works. I'm testing these out. And they're basically Posca markers on drawn on top of the Chrome cards. So I got a big set of Posca markers for Christmas, and I think I'll send in this one to someone already. And I already started to number them too. VFRM means remark, so remarked versions of the cards. And I'm really happy about this son. They're just like looking at each other like, hey, what's up? It was a fun little distraction, There's an ambitious angel here. I'm taking some of these with me to Grove City. And I don't know. I don't know. I kind of feel like if you have a card already, the answer is no. Or I might just come up with a game that we'll play. I don't know. You know? I don't know. This is for fun. I can't get involved in painting those cards. I mean, it was a nice little distraction yesterday. All right, so we got a cool panel going here with her getting stuck in the, and I kind of like those roots. Yeah, let's get crazy there with that. Like it's just all encompassing around her. This is kind of what it can feel like to be in. Again, I want to capture that feeling of overwhelmed by depression or darkness or whatever it could be. Darkness, everybody has their own different flavor of darkness, I guess. Some people get anxiety, some people get depressed, feeling like they're not good enough. Nobody's immune to it. Nobody. They might just not admit it. In moments of silence or whatever you think. It's real easy to say forget that, don't feel that way. But we're all human beings. So you might feel it, but the thing is to be self-aware of it when it's happening and then crush that. Smash that. Don't let that get you, because that's the real thing. Some people don't get that under control. They just feel like I'm a loser. I'll never make it. And I believe, this is just DJ talking here, I believe like the universe hears you when you say things out loud like that. So I got a friend, old friend. I have a lot of art friends. And he commented on my Facebook post about we were number one. This comic came out and this comic became number one it like popped up on a chart of number one for the week, and we're not even in the comic book industry. Like we're not even in the comic book industry, and it came out. And so I posted about it because I thought that was pretty cool. And he's like, his post was kind of like, man, everything just works out for you. I try everything and everything backfires on me all the time, and I could never have that. And like all the words he was saying in that post, I just felt like, man, dude, you gotta stop that. You gotta stop that, man. Like, if you're saying you're never gonna make it, you're not good enough, then so it is. Picture like a genie and you're wishing for it, but you're wishing in reverse. You're like saying like, I will never be good enough. The universe goes, abracadabra, you will never be good enough. But if you wake up every day like Gary V and you say, I'm going to buy the jets, I'm going to build the next Pokemon, I'm going to be the next thing. Like, I love that in his new Gary V where his daily V, there was the scene where he's sitting there going like, hey man, I know it's some big stuff. I'm talking some big stuff right now. I want to be Stan Lee. I want to be Walt Disney. That's some tall order. And he's like, but I could do it. And like that's that conviction. That's the energy that you need in life, So that jazzed me up too. I was like, yeah. Like, oh my God. And I'm even like, I'm a part of this. How the heck did this happen to me? Like, like, whoa. Like, this is crazy. And I'm like, yeah, like, let's go. I'm like committed to helping that happen. I'm not in it for me. I'm not in it for, the roses or anything like that. I'm like, how cool is it that we're doing? You just see the messages out there. There's a guy in the comments of one of those streams yesterday that said, I'm canceling my therapy and I'm just going to rip VeeFriends all day. Because really, it's like, really it is that. It's like VeeFriends is therapy. VeeFriends is like the community and having good friends around you and stuff like that is good. You should make a present for everybody to order for Mother's Day. It's a little too late for that. Mother's Day is Sunday. Let me open the... So here I am working on a kind of a Sunday story. It's the first time I'm going to do this. And you didn't really miss that too much. Suffocate hate would be a good one to put in this, actually, but this one's really not about hate. But thought wrong about the hamster. Y2K, that's cool. What's up, dads? It's not that bad. How's it going, man? Hopefully you got some... I saw you got some cards, right? Hey, guys, it's been really hard to keep up with all the messages. So, and I'm not like... I honestly try to stay away from social media a little bit. I like being in the VeeFriends universe, but I don't like diving too deep and being in the rabbit hole. Being in the rabbit hole of the bad intentions that are out there. Don't call him a rabbit, though. He's just bad intentions. Anyways, I'm just rambling. Yeah, Brandon, they say people see the end goal. So back to my friend that was like, nothing ever works out for me. Maybe I was a little inspired by it. I feel so depressed. All I do is work and nothing ever works out for me. And I don't show all the things that I went through, you know. I don't show every time somebody told me I would never make it or this was a pipe dream or what. I talk about it, you know. I tell you I was married for 16 years and my in-laws, rest in peace, they weren't very supportive. They were like, this is a pipe dream. Even when I was doing it full time, I was making pretty decent money, by the way. It wasn't good enough. It was never good enough unless you worked at a factory or something like that. And I even tried that, and that didn't work. I was like, look, even factory jobs aren't... like, this is ridiculous, you know? I'm going to go do my thing. But I don't show all those struggles. Divorce, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, all those things, you know. If I don't think you should. I don't think that you should be like, I don't think you should be wearing all the bad stuff on your sleeve, because if you're focused on the bad stuff all the time, I look at some of my friends' Facebook walls and stuff when I peek in, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know. I just feel so bad for this person, but man, they're just, you know, the energy is not great. So I try to surround myself with positive energy rather than a lot of sad sack in it. Although I'm there for my sad sack friends. I'm definitely like, hey man, time to snap out of it. I got a lot of like those stories that are deeper, they're just sadder to me. I don't like to talk about them too much, but I got a friend who's 60, art friend, and his wife just passed away. And you don't know what to say. I'm sorry for your loss or whatever, but she was an artist as well. And she was a little older than him, and he had been taking care of her. And he had spent years, you know, they had this like basement studio, and she had tons of stuff. And she had so much artwork that she never showed anybody, tucked away in these books. And so he's just been going through her stuff, and he's like, this is so overwhelming to me, I don't know what to do. And I'm just so overwhelmed, and I just like, man, these posts are heartbreaking. Every time I open up Facebook, I'm just like brokenhearted for this dude. And I'm like, I wish I could help him. I wish I could tell him something. But everything that I'd say could just be, you know, I've known some people that are like, don't, you know, grief is just weird. You got to just let people go through it kind of thing. But I just felt compelled today to message him the other day, and I said, hey man, I just wanted to talk directly from how I would talk. And I said, I effing hate this for you. I hate seeing you in pain. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. I really hate that you have to go through this pain. I didn't give him any kind of like, it's going to be brighter or anything like that. I was just like, dude, I really hate to see you in so much pain. I keep fighting, brother. Like, you know, and he messaged back and was like, "Oh man, thank you so much." And then he said, honestly, he feels like there's this devil on his shoulder now that's telling him now is his time. Because his post was like, "I'm 60 years old, no one wants me. I wanted to be a photographer, but I got a broken back, and now no one will hire me. You know, I got all this art stuff I want to do, but I just no one cares." And I'm like, dude. But he was like, honestly, now I got this devil on my shoulder that's like, now's my time, because he spent so much time taking care of his wife when she was ill that he didn't do any of his art or, you know, really focus on his dreams. So now he's like, now that she's gone, he feels guilty because she's like, she's gone. And I'm thinking like, now's my time. And I'm like, don't, you know, I didn't tell him this, but I'm like, don't feel that way. I think she would be very happy for you, you know, if you were that much in love. I don't know. Just my guess. Just my guess. And, you know, it's so sad that that picture he posted about one of her sketchbooks, her art, there were like these watercolors that she tucked away in there, and they were so good. And he's like, I can't believe she never showed this to anybody. Why was that? Because just like a lot of you, do you share your iPad? Well, just like a lot of you, you feel like you're not good enough, or you feel like what you're putting out isn't good enough, or something like that, so you don't share it with the world. But that's the secret, is that you're supposed to share it. You're supposed to share your human experience, not in complaining, but human experience by you're here to create and amplify love and respect and cooperation and kindness and all the things that VeeFriends has. Empathy, gratitude. Let's post them. Let's post them up. I'm getting fired up about this shit. Getting fired up now. Patience. Adventure. You know, for some people, by the way, adventure doesn't have to mean expensive. Some people don't leave their house and they don't even go down and try that new coffee shop or take a walk in their park or go talk to a neighbor. Like, that could be an adventure. Go on a hike, do outdoor stuff. There's a lot of free things that you can do. Adventure doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to go to outer space. If you gave me a trip to outer space right now, I'd be like, no. What do I want to... There's nothing up there. It's all here. There you go. Today, let me read these quotes. I'm getting a lot of comments. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys. Can you get stuff like that graded? I don't know. I'm sure sometime in my life, since I'm all in on this, sometime I'll own a Y2K card. Good morning, Boiler. What's going on? Positivity is the cheat code. Dad, that's not that bad, says. That's true. By the way, Dad, that's not that bad. He's got a pin, an iridescent pin. I forwarded it to the team. I don't know if you were able to make a trade, but he wanted to trade for a hobby box. Black Cat iridescent pin for a hobby box. How do you screen share your iPad? Okay. Viviana, if you're still watching, I'm going to show you real quick. I use this program called OBS. It's free. OBS is free. This one right here. And I can have different scenes. Let me just... It has a lot of different sources here. There's sources and there's scenes. So now I can push this... Look, I got this little button down here. This is my messy desk. That's the VeeFriends graveyard down there. But I've got these little buttons that I can push. Just me. It's me. And then back to that. It all gets designed in the OBS. And my iPad is a source. So it plugs in. It's plugged in. It's connected. I'm using my iPhone right now that you can't see. Well, I guess you can kind of see it when I'm... Look, when it's me and I've got my iPhone here on this easel or this lamp, right? So that's my second camera, is my iPhone, and it points down at that. Oh, sometimes. Remember when I used to, if you guys were on the old streams, I used to have this cord that would like blink out. The old iPhone sucked. And now here we are with finally getting the... And anyways, then I use this program called Restream, but you can also use StreamYard, and I'm broadcasting out across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, and it all feeds in through that. So it's a learning process. It's not easy, because when I first started, I was like, I don't know how to use OBS. But guess what? YouTube has all of everything that you possibly need in life. Whatever happened to the old iPad? Did they ever fix it? Nope. It got sent out. It was completely boned. Like, there was nothing they could do at the repair centers. It got sent to like a secondary repair center too. Nobody could access it. It was fried. So it ended up coming back to the facility, and they're like, I guess you can come pick it up. And I never went and got it because it was dead. I knew it. I was like, what am I going to drive a half an hour to pick up this dead brick of metal? And I just didn't do it. I was like, it was too sad. It's too sad for me. Anyways, I'm working on a Sunday comic that's a little bit different here. Girl's depressed at work. These vines start growing. She touches one of them. Boom. Vamp. I might put a sound effect. She's in the frowning forest. Where am I? Frowning forest. She's walking around in the darkness. Foot gets caught. They start to grow around her. Now she's really entangled in it. Trees growing up all around her. Fearless Fairy shows up, blasts those roots away, and tells her, like, you can't stay here. You got to get going now, because if you stay too long in that feeling, you become one of those sad trees. And then near the end, what I'm going to do, let me do it live here. I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this into a QR code, and I think our friend Tyler over in VeeFriends Land, shout out to Tyler Dowdle. He made me a QR code. Copy image. So I'm copying it over here. I'm literally just going, like this. I'm going copy image. And since my computer is connected, I think I'm connected, I should be able to go like this and go paste. And it's going to paste, allow paste. And now it should be on here somewhere. There it is. Magic. What the... and then I'm going to have this positioned right here in the art. Real big. This will be in the newspaper. It'll also say, read the origin story of Fearless Fairy at VeeFriends.com. And then there will be this QR code that I like to track to see, like, it doesn't even have to be that big, really, but I'm going to leave it that big. I think it's pretty cool. So really, the comic is a message to people out there, but also a promotion for our come read our comic books. Which, shout out to Lee letting us do that too. Newspapers charge a lot of money for advertisement space, but they've really been loving the comic book or the comics in the newspapers on Sunday. Yep. Hey, I haven't dropped in for a while. But who was born in 1997? By the way, when I said the name of that program was called OBS, that was the program. And if you're new to VeeFriends, please email me at comics@VeeFriends.com. This is Corso and I. We're happy to say hello, send you something, Is your computer an Apple? My computer is not an Apple. My computer is a computer. No, it's a MacBook Pro. Yeah. Just being. MT Box Designs, thank you for watching. Thanks for the love over there. Can you please ask Gary Vee to sign your Posca sketches? Ooh, that's not a bad idea. I got to take a Posca to sign it, though. Not a bad idea. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to be in the way over there. That day's about Chrome release, Gary, all that stuff. I don't want to be like, hey, Gary, sign these things. And then what am I doing with them? I don't know. I don't know. If you don't know what we're talking about, I did these. I did these remarked Topps Chrome cards. There's a little scratch there. I'm going to fix that up. Let's fix it up live. And use these Posca paint pens. And we can just touch that up real quick. Little surgery there on our front. But no other real markers will stick to this except for those really deep permanent blue markers and the Posca. And I think the Posca would even chip off if you really did it. But yeah, I thought it was just fun. It's just for fun. You know, I don't want to turn it into a thing because I'm already behind on. Not behind. I'm never behind. There's no behind. Shout out to my friend Lennon Bone. You're never behind. You're never truly behind. But I feel behind sometimes. I've got a list of sketch cards to do for people, and I know. And people were like, "Hey, mine was supposed to be first," and I'm like, oh, "Listen, I'm just doing the best I can. These are for free, and you know, now you've gone to the bottom of my list." No, I'm just kidding. I have a list. I plan on doing a show, just like I'm doing now. It'll just be a full stream of nothing but doing physical art and doing a spin wheel where randomly I'll draw one in a row that I owe, because I owe a couple, and I will catch up because there's only like 10 that I owe, and then then I'll randomly spin the wheel and it'll just be for fun. It's just for fun. If you take it and you sell it, that's cool, I guess. Whatever. But it's yours once you have it. You can do whatever you want with it. You'll never get a card from me again. No, I'm just joking. Just kidding. Just kidding. I don't have a shiz list. My daughter sent you an email recently. I thought that was cool. I probably got it. I read all the emails, so I'm sure I did see it. It was a review, I think, but yeah, we'll get everybody hooked up. I've been shopping online for those sellers. Yeah, I used to draw Marvel. Topps, Marvel, Upper Deck. I did Walking Dead cards, Star Wars cards, Doctor Strange. There's a couple other card sets I did too, but nobody will ever find them. There's like obscure card sets. I don't even remember the names of things sometimes. My wife will remind me and be like, "Hey, you worked on that set." And I'm like, "Oh yeah." You know, it's quite a grind, the sketch card life. Shout out to all those sketch card artists. By the way, let's take a look. Oh, let me do this thing real quick where I go, be right back. No, I can't. Oh, shoot. How can I do this without showing you my screen? Nah, we just won't do it. Never mind. Wait, I know how to do it. Aha. One moment. Hey, everybody, follow us at Instagram. Follow us. Here we go. I got it now. Just had to be careful. Now I can just... Darn it. Okay. Got a lot of buttons to push here. Let's just zoom in on these. This is the top sketch card. Now this isn't all of them, but let's zoom in on some, okay? Zoom in on some. We'll get there, and I'm gonna move this around. This is some sketch cards because I know that we'll go all the way up to the top. Rips and I were the ones approving some of these cards. Let's get it. Come on. Why is it not coming in? I might have the artist name here too, but you can see here. Occasionally we would have to cancel one if it didn't look like the character, but this fella did a good job. This was Matt Maldonado. This is Nick Bugley. These are all, so you can see like we'd marked them all good. Some really good ones here. All these sketch cards. A couple of these sketch cards have gone for like $1,000 or something. Look at this guy. Wow. That's so good. So good. Some of the best ones, I think, are by Mike Stevens. He's a sketch card artist. Topps has their roster of sketch card artists, and I gotta tell you, this isn't a slam in it, but like I said, this is a grind. Sketch card artists only get paid like $5 per card, or $6 or $7 if that was it. They get paid $7 for like, hey guys, you want to do 100 cards, right? So what you do as a sketch card artist is you get in these sets, you get your art promoted. You used to get artist proof cards that you could sell, and they don't even do that anymore. A lot of the card companies got stingy and they don't want people to, I don't know. But it would be, the right thing to do would be to give artists artist proof cards to sell. Whenever I did it, I used to be able to get artist proof cards made. So I could actually do these sets for $7 or $5 a piece. Picture that, guys. Yeah, you don't know that, but that's what the reality is of these sketch card artists. They don't get paid very much to do these. So when you get one of these cards, please go support these artists as well. Buy their prints. Maybe commission them to do something for you. I don't know. Please go support all of these artists. This is Aaron Larich. Sorry if I butcher your name. This is Bobby Blakely. I'm all for different. I love seeing the different styles of the VeeFriends. I can't wait. We already see some fan art and stuff like that coming out, but it's so cool to see people drawing. These are so good. These are fun. Julie McKenzie. I don't have all of them because I got so busy reviewing the cards that it was hard. Looks like he used some comics for reference. Yeah, I was like, oh, he used some comics for reference. That's neat. Because those are definitely comic panels. But I'm excited. I mean, it's a weird feeling when you're a sketch card artist and you drew something for $7 and you got in a set, and then someone sells it on eBay for $1,000. Could have been sometimes life-changing money for some of these artists. So keep that in mind when you support art out there. Support real art. Like, see, we had to cancel some of the ones that were we didn't put these out, I don't think. The ones that were the the utility, like Bubble Hockey, Basset Hound. There's a couple of those we had to cancel. By the way, if you get canceled, like if you turn in a set, like if I did Spider-Man and the editor was going through it going like, I don't like this one, I don't like that one, the artist doesn't get paid and they can't get the card back. That's kind of how the rules work for sketch card artists. So it's a grind. So I have a lot of respect because I did it. Who's this? This is Mike LaParetta. He's got a great following over there on Instagram. Eddie Gangland showed me his stuff yesterday. These ones are out there too. This is Lily Mercado. Shout out. This one was a no. We just said no to this one. We were like, that doesn't look like a Bigfoot more than it. If it was recognizable, we said yeah. We were like, no, this was a little weird. I don't know. A couple of them, like, we're like, that doesn't really look like, that just looks like a ghost. That's not a gritty ghost, right? That's kind of the process of, but who's this? This is Quentin Baker. I don't have all of them. Steve Stalliano. Who's this? Oh, this is Kate Comics, which she's part of the comics team. Like, look at these Red Devils. Wow. So cool. We only, so a little behind the scenes, the comics team ourselves, me, Chris Faison, Ali Castro, we didn't have time to do these cards. Everybody else got their cards way in advance. I don't know why we didn't get our cards until like we had a week. We had like 5 days or something like that. Insane. So that's why my cards are in black and white. But she did. Look at this. I love this. Oh my gosh. These are so good. So good. Versatile Viking. Little Harpix, interesting looking Harpic or interesting looking Viking there. You might have seen that Viking recently in that little comic trailer that we put out. Pretty cool. Ali Castro. So again, we only had, hopefully next time we've got a little more time because I would have liked to have put some more color on mine. But she really went. She like, after she got into a flow, she was going. These ones are special to me. Chris Faison again. We're like Chris, and then it's harder to get stuff to Chris because where he lives and like even overnight doesn't go overnight. But Chris drew all the manga cards, the manga inserts. Chris Faison, who also drew. By the way, Chris Faison, unsung hero inside of our comics team, who also drew the interiors of comic book #1. So if you get one of these cards, I think you should hold it. Don't be, that's Chris Faison artwork. While it doesn't look like, hey, it's just a sketch, it is a sketch card. I saw someone else go like, oh, it's only pencil, and I'm like, bro, like, it's I don't know. So mine are here too. I tried to focus on some of the cartoon strip characters, the ones that are in the cartoon strip or comic strip. And then my wife was begging me to put color on it. I'm like, I don't have time. Like the deadline was like the next day. I was like, I can't. I just don't have time. I was gonna do 100 cards and then I did 60. So, what's going on here? I don't know. Find out soon. People like looking through these, so I'm just doing it. Why not? Poor cynical cat. Look at him. He's in the frowning forest as well. Who got a sketch card? Oh, this is cool. Like, this is one of my favorite cards here. The Balance Beetle ones. And this one where he's looking at this crashed. You might recognize that. Anyways, those are some of the sketch cards. There's a few more that I haven't seen, and the celebrity ones aren't on here either. You know, I'll show you something else real quick that we're working on that I can't show you what it is specifically, but I'll just say that Chris Faison is doing some next level. This is some future art from an issue. Notice anything there? So good, man. So good. I'm not saying this to be I'm not saying this to be, but the artwork is like, I think, award-winning type artwork that he's doing. He's giving it his best. We've been at this for so long. Chris Faison and I have been drawing comic books for independent comic books in the trenches for 30 years, 25 years. And we're giving it everything that we learned in the trenches, storytelling-wise, we're giving it to VeeFriends. Right, Chris? He's usually around. You wait. You just wait. Love your stuff. Frustrating that the bulk of the product is in the United States when I'm in the UK. Well, that's because you should move to the United States. No, I don't do that. I mean, you could do that. It is the greatest country on the planet. Shout out United States. I don't know. Rah. No. I'm being... But it is. But it's not, it is, but it's not. Sometimes, but it is. But it is. But sometimes, no. Sometimes it's a little bit. I love showing things. That's why I love. Some people are just like, I just watch your stream because you might show some stuff. And I'm like, well, yeah, I might. There's Faison. He's over in TikTok. I see you now. Faison doesn't do a lot of traditional art anymore. Hey, man, it's been fun to actually pull out some pencils and stuff and Posca markers. I never messed with Posca markers before. Yeah, but I'm excited. I had another person say, there was two people now that say, like, do you feel like comics are overshadowed because of Topps Chrome? And I'm like, absolutely not. Like, I think Topps Chrome is the greatest thing that's happened to VeeFriends, because there's so many new people experiencing VeeFriends. I watched a lot of those streams yesterday as Gary was jumping around to all of those streams. I was popping around listening to him, and I like listening. I like hearing the other people's reactions. That's what I'm listening for, and it was so cool to... I gotta fix this real quick. It was so cool to hear people go, wow, wait, they're actually thinking about the characters, and they're like, I never thought about ambition that way, and like, wow, this is pretty deep. I can talk to my kids about this, and like, this is a cool way to talk about these issues, and and it's like, yep. It's like, it's almost like Gary knows what he's doing, guys. Like, I don't know. He's got a pretty good track record. A lot of people doubt him. Even I've had conversations over in the comic book industry where people are like, oh, that's the Gary guy. And I'm like, man, you guys, we don't hate that. We don't hate that. When people do that, it's just kind of like, you just don't know yet. You don't know what's up. I get a little bit annoyed when I've told friends, close friends locally, that I'm like, I'm working on VeeFriends. And then I see them again like a month later, and they're like, what was that weird thing you're working on? Is that still going? And I'm like, deep breath. Deep breath. Just deep breath. They'll know. The world is going to know. I'm patient. And also, The people, I feel like the right people already know, and like we're the ones that are going to have to, we're the community. When I say we're the ones that are going to have to street team this. We're like this epic street team. You know, punk rock bands, and like, I love that. We've got this awesome street team of people. Card shops are overwhelmed with people calling them. GameStops are like, my GameStop, local GameStop guy's like, what is this thing? Can you tell me what this is? He was confused because he's never heard of VeeFriends before, and there's people calling the shop. That's going to make a world of difference, having the community out there. And I can't wait to do that to comic book shops, because I have a love for comic books and comic book stores and retailers too. Gary also as well comes from a world of retail. I don't know if you knew that. And I want to see more comic book stores succeed. You know, well, I didn't do a lot of inking on. I did a lot of talking and just hanging out, because I'm going to be traveling Monday through Wednesday next week. So I probably won't have streams until Thursday. But on Thursday, please join us on the drawing board on Whatnot. To get there, you're going to go to VeeFriends.com, VeeFriends.com/whatnot. It's a little hack. It'll take you to this screen of all of our upcoming. Oh, look, Gary's live right now. Wait, he's live on a They're doing the remote thing? How do I click that? Can I watch it? Oh, I don't know if it'll let me. Oh, darn. I don't have it on the iPad here. Anyways, he's live right now on the Tri-State Tour. They're touring around. I'm going to watch that right after this. I'm going to listen in to that. But the whole point of telling you this was get the Whatnot app. We have shows coming at you constantly, talking about cards, talking about all of our other merch and stuff that we have, of course. But also, way over here next week, we've got the drawing board. Shout out to the team. That's a sweet new logo. I love it. A little pencil there. And Corso and I will be live on the Whatnot Con exclusive VeeFriends comic number 2 live read. I'm going to read issue 2 for the first time live and kind of do a deep dive into it. And where did it go? We're going to have our first art print for sale. It's a mini art print the same size as this. It'll be the Bad Intentions art print for sale. I think we've got about 99 of these. And they'll be affordable. And even if it's your first time on Whatnot, you can use a code and you can get it for free. Something like $15 or something like that. Really cool art prints that we're going to be doing to kind of celebrate, alternative views of covers or something like that. Tune into that Whatnot stream. That's the only place that you're going to be able to get it, is that day. So get it. All right. Okay, that's it for me. Any other questions? I'm going to look real quick. Are you more creative at night? I know most artists are. I'm actually more creative in the morning. I get tired at night now because I'm old. I used to be a night owl. Now I'm an early bird. I wake up at 5. My brain is just kicking in the morning with ideas. Any other questions? Again, if you're new to VeeFriends, please email me at VeeFriends.com. Or no, comics@VeeFriends.com. Duh. And let's see what else. If you're an artist out there and you want my Procreate sketches or my Procreate brushes, message us up. So many awesome GP sketches. Scotty, what's up, Scotty? Yeah, I haven't read the comic out loud because I know people are waiting till Monday to get theirs. My wife's isn't coming till Monday too. Yeah. Just read comic 2. Can't wait for comic 3 with more of Chris's art. Yep. Chris drew issue 3. Chris drew issue 5. Chris is drawing issue 5 right now. Big one. And Kate Comics drew issue 4. So keep these in mind when you're collecting these cards. Great. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for drawing with me, hanging out, watching me draw. I mean, I'm reading these chats while I'm working. We're live on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and X. So thanks for watching. When are the prints dropping? The prints are dropping on next Thursday on that show. So I'm telling you, what am I doing here? Get over here, bookmark the drawing board for next Friday over on Whatnot only. It's a Whatnot Comic-Con week. It's called Whatnot Con, and it happens for 3 days. There's going to be multiple streams, and we're part of that. We're part of that initiative from Whatnot Comic-Con, or Whatnot Con, and Whatnot Con Artist Alley. So please get over there and bookmark that, and we'll see you then. Actually, that's probably the next time I'm going to see you live, because I'm traveling on Monday through Wednesday. So I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, guys. VeeFriends are forever. See you soon.